The last thing that you need to know about cookies is how to delete them. Although a cookie automatically expires when the user's browser is closed or when the expiration date time is met, sometimes you'll want to manually delete the cookie as well. For example, websites that have registered users and login capabilities delete any created cookies when the user logs out. As we discussed, the setCookie function can take up to 7 arguments, but only one is ultimately required, the name. If you send a cookie that consists of a name without a value, it's going to have the same effect as deleting the existing cookie of the same name. Here we have an example that we've used in a previous exercise. We're simply setting a cookie called cookie1 and assigning a value of chocolate chip. Then we're printing the value of the cookie to the page. And you can see here is the value of the cookie. Inside of my Chrome Developer Tools area under Application, you can see the name of the cookie, cookie1, and the value of chocolate chip. What we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the setCookie function, and we're going to set the cookie name to match the existing cookie, cookie1. Then I'm going to use my comma and I'll pass in a value, and the value is just going to be nothing. If we go ahead and save and we go back out to the browser and we refresh, and I want you to keep your eye down here, watch the name and value area. When I refresh, you can see that those areas go away. Now, if I do a hard refresh on my browser, you're going to see that I'm going to get an undefined index. And this is because I'm trying to print something that actually doesn't have any sort of value. The important part to note is that the cookie and the value disappeared from our page. In addition to deleting a cookie in this way, you can also delete a cookie by using setCookie, and then in the parentheses we would pass the name of the cookie that we want to delete, and then we would pass in the keyword of false. This would have the exact same result. So let me actually comment this out for just a second so we can get our cookie back onto the page. So now the cookie exists, and now I'm going to uncomment out this second line, which will delete the cookie. And if we refresh, again, keep your eye down here, you can see that the value of the cookie disappears. Now, when you're deleting cookies, as an added precaution, you'll often set the expiration date that's in the past. So if we wanted to do something like this, I would use my time function, and then I would use minus and pass in some sort of value. So I'm going to use 6,000, which means that this cookie is going to have an expiration date that was an hour in the past. If we save now and refresh, nothing is really going to change. The cookie had already been deleted, but this is going to have the same sort of effect. There is a caveat when it comes to deleting cookies, and that's that you need to use the same argument values that were used to set the cookie in the first place, aside from the value and expiration. So for example, if you set a cookie while providing a domain name, you must also provide that value when deleting the cookie. What we'll do now is we're going to use the delete cookie function and go ahead and script up our reset page. So you might have recalled from before, we have our custom preference page where the user is able to specify certain settings about the page. When we click Customize Me, it's going to go ahead and set cookies with these settings. And if we want to see these settings in action, we would click our In Action button, and it would take us to a page which is going to stylize the page in this way. Now, prior, we had made a Reset Your Settings link. This is currently linking to a page that just says your settings have been completely reset, and it's going to link back to the Customize page. However, this doesn't function as it stands right now. You can see that my cookies and their values still exist. If I want to be able to delete these, I'm going to have to add some code to this page. The page that I currently have is called 10-03 Reset, and I'm linking to my style sheet file. And then all that I have on this page is a paragraph tag that has a link that links back to the 1003.php page, which is our original customized page. In order to delete existing cookies, I need to send new cookies with the same names, empty values, and expirations that are in the past. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the very top of the page and I'm going to open up my PHP tags. Just like when we create cookies, when we delete cookies, this specification needs to be run before anything else on the page. So in order to delete the cookies, I'm going to use the setCookie function, In the parentheses, inside of quotes, I'm going to pass on the name of the cookie that I want to delete. Then I'm going to either pass on an empty set of quotes or the keyword of false. And I'll also pass on the time value that exists in the past. The reason that I'm putting in the time value is because, if you recall, we used a time value when we first set this up. In addition, we're using the path formatting, so I need to pass on the path formatting when I delete the cookies as well. The cookies will not delete unless I pass this in. So inside of our reset page, I'm going to go ahead and add the same path structure, which is our / inside of quotes. I'll go ahead and I'll copy this line of code. I'm going to paste this in and change the name of the cookie. So my next cookie that I want to delete is the font color. And then we'll do that one more time for the background color. All the other values when deleting the cookies can remain the same. Do keep in mind though, instead of using the empty quotes, you can pass in the keyword of false. This behavior is going to be exactly the same. I'll save this page, and if we come back into this page, and if I simply click refresh, you're going to see that all of the cookie values go away. If I click the back button and go back to the page we were just looking at and click refresh, now all of the formatting is going to be lost as well. So now I would need to go into my Customize page, specify the customized settings that I want, and click Customize Me. And then you can see that the cookies have been created along with their values. If I click my In Action link, it's going to take me to the page which is going to display those settings. And if I want to clear them out, I can click Reset Your Settings link, and then you can see that the cookies are immediately deleted. So just keep in mind that when you want to delete cookies, you need to call the setCookie function before anything else is sent to the browser. So remember, no line breaks, no spaces, nothing else can happen first. So in summary, when we use the setCookie function with a name but no value, or we pass in the value of false, the existing cookie of that name is going to be deleted. The expiration date in the past also guarantees proper destruction of the existing cookie. And just as a quick note, you can delete a cookie on a page, but you can still access that page with the cookie on it. I would manually have to click the refresh button to flush out the settings from that cookie. And that's because the cookie was actually received by the page before the delete cookie was actually sent. And just as creating cookies has mixed results when you use different browsers, the same applies to deleting them. You'll want to test your scripts on many browsers and play with the setCookie settings to ensure the best all-around compatibility.